I'm always extremely cautious when I throw something out for betrayed spouses. Number one, I want it to be redemptive. Number two, I want it to be very sensitive to the fact that I am not a betrayed spouse, but yet I understand that world. I live with a former betrayed spouse and typically vet out most of what I say through Samantha. And number three, I really want to be gracious because I want to help you as best as a male unfaithful spouse can help you. I just want to be a safe place and help you heal as best I can. I know that many of you, which many of you have told me, you'd rather it be a female betrayed spouse speaking to you. I get it. I'm sorry. This is who God or this is who fate has presented to you. I will always do my absolute best through caffeine, prayer, grinding it out, and selflessness to give you what I feel is helpful and redemptive for either one or both spouses. Today I want to get very preventative for you betrayed spouses, male or female, because I see this mistake happen a lot, and I was chatting with a therapist the other day who was sharing their thoughts on this, and I thought, man, what a great topic to talk about. So today I want to talk to you about the pitfall that I think a lot of betrayed spouses fall into, which is the mentality that says, you know what, if my unfaithful spouse will just get help, we'll be good. Because as long as they're getting help, I'm going to be fine. And unfortunately, that does not work, because here's why. What happens is the unfaithful spouse is going to a 12-step group or a Celebrate Recovery group or professional counseling or all these different things that they typically do. And the betrayed spouse sits back here and typically doesn't get the help that they need. And so what happens is the betrayed spouse is here and they're kind of up and down and they're struggling, but they're trying and they're trying to find community and they're just dealing with maybe kids or work or life or what have you. And here's the unfaithful. In a perfect world, hopefully they're getting help, they're progressing, they're getting healthy, they're doing what they need to do, confronting themselves, confronting their demons, if you will, enrolled in programming, and they're starting to get healthy and show signs of growth and safety. But then there's the betrayed. And the betrayed in this particular scenario, it is not a universal truth, and it is not that every betrayed spouse does it, not at all. But it does happen frequently, and so what happens is there comes a point where their worlds don't really collide on the same level. Like the unfaithful is seeing some things differently and working through their own mess, but the betrayed has not had the same venue or opportunity because of finances or because of just trauma, because they're dealing with PTSD, and so few therapists know how to deal with PTSD unless they're an expert, or it's just simply what we call betrayal trauma, and very few people understand the nuances to betrayal trauma. And so they get like this. The unfaithful's in a better place, but the betrayed is not. And bitterness starts to seep in, and anger seeps in. And before you know it, you hit like a 1-year or a 2-year anniversary of the affair, and everything kind of explodes within the mind of the betrayed because, number one, whenever anniversaries hit, everything comes full circle. So for the first 1, 2, or 3 years, whenever the anniversary date hits, it's very common, extremely common for all hell to break loose again, and you start to think that you're not gaining ground or that you haven't healed, when in reality, no. Emotionally, everything is brought full circle, and everything kind of comes to center stage, and then a few days after the anniversary, you slide back into that comfortable place of wherever you are emotionally and mentally because you've done some recovery work. In this scenario, because again, it's not a universal truth, but it does happen to a lot of people, is that the betrayed has been suffering silently, and so they kind of are in this situation, especially if you've been in the public eye, because the unfaithful has rallied and they're doing work and they're taking all the heat and they're just kind of like, yeah, and everybody's like, oh, good job, unfaithful. Way to handle it, and way to get back up, and way to, dig deep and get healthy and own what you've done. And here's the betrayed. And there's not a lot of people doing that. and there's not a lot of attention on the betrayed. And the betrayed feels left for dead, dropped out of a, F-18 at 1,000,000 miles an hour, free falling for days, weeks, months, years. And the betrayed sits here, and then people start to vilify the betrayed and go, oh my gosh, get over it. Look at all the work they've done. Oh my gosh, you're just sitting in self-pity. Why are you so explosive or reactive? And oh my gosh, you're not seeing what an awesome spouse you now have. And people who don't understand this dynamic start to shame the betrayed. And here we go, we're off to the races of reinforcing pain and hurt and trauma, and it just completely devastates both the betrayed spouse as well as the process even more. So what do you do? Number one, if you're a betrayed spouse, understand that this is normal. Number two, you've got to take care of yourself. You have to be your biggest supporter, and that means getting help. Listen, I know finances can be tough. Go to affairrecovery.com, look at a program called Harboring Hope, fill out the scholarship application. It happens every week that people receive scholarships for Harboring Hope. Number two, it's time that you allow the focus to be put on you, not to say you caused the affair, but to say you need help, you need support, you need attention. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You need time to have work be provided for you to work through your trauma, to work through your anger, to work through your pain, to work through the devastation, all of the things that you deal with every day. Number three, communicate this to the unfaithful, that this is what you feel, and that you're not trying to attack them. You're not trying to, throw it in their face. You're not trying to undercut the momentum, but you simply have not felt like you have gotten the help that you need, and that you're not blaming them, you're just blaming the process, and that you absolutely need help. If you are an unfaithful, understand, this happens more than I could ever itemize out for you. It's vital that you make the process safe for your betrayed spouse, and that you don't be condescending and say, well, now it's your turn. It's your turn to confront your demons, and it's your turn for you to, face what you did to cause my affairs. Oh, please do not do that. Even if you feel that way, please save yourself and your spouse hundreds of hours of therapy by not saying such stupid things. A better way to say it is to say, you know what? I've had all this attention, and it's really helped me. We've got to help you. Yes, borrow money. Go into debt if you need to. Fill out a scholarship application at affairrecovery.com. Do not let your betrayed spouse not have the support that they need. Additionally, don't blame them and put it on them. Well, if you'd have done the work that I'm doing, you wouldn't be where you're at. Why don't you rise up? Get out of your self-pity. Stop making this about you. Why are we just continuing to focus on the infidelity? It's been a year. It's been 2 years. Please do not do that. You are not helping. I did some of those things. I made it worse when I did that. Please don't do that. A better way to say it is to say, you know what? I caused this mess. It is forever on me. Please let me help you get help. Books, online courses, in-person intensives, something. But make it your mission, not to fix them, make it your mission to do whatever it takes to help them get support as well.